What is going on, everybody? We're back on it. Vagabond 266, 7, 8, 9, and 270. Just cranking them out. We still are, dealing with, life after killing the 70 men. It's still too early to tell if we will ever fight again. And I'm curious if the story is like, it's straight up putting it in your face. Like, hey, he will never fight again. He'll never physically be able to be what he's going to be. Or if we're supposed to be holding out hope. I feel like it's hard to tell because I feel like he's kind of going through this mental metamorphosis. Which is it could be taken as him like kind of accepting that he won't. So he's kind of making the decision that he won't. But it's easy for him to like make this commitment to not fighting again when he physically can't ever again, if that's the case. It'd be different if he came out of this unscathed and they just had him locked up, but he was still like physically like peak prime good to go. It's almost like the decision is being made for him, so it's easy for him to take like the I will not be violent path the rest of my life, because like you can't. I still would love to see him get out there in the world. People know who he is, know his face, their reactions. I'd love to see him run into the two old men again, especially after what he's done and the word is spread. I would love to see their reactions and interactions between them. And just some of the other characters as well. Kojuro is out of here. That man is gone. I'm curious if the two of them will ever run into each other again. I'm sure they will, just for story point purposes. But I'm curious how they even come back around. Ueda's spirit is haunting our soon bride to be. I don't know why he's coming after us when he's over here. He's like, look what Takezo did. He cost his sick mother to kill herself, and this wife snuffed a baby and killed herself because the husband was there. That's on you, Ueda. You didn't have to hunt him down and put this out there. You could have just let him leave town. Honestly, I feel like Ueda is a bigger reason that those men got themselves killed, but that's just me. And then I think like 10 chapters ago, we got Matahachi running into his mother, kind of like coughing up blood and passing out. I'm curious if we catch back up with that. And yeah, I think that's about where we're at. So let's get to it. Let me drag this over here. Press play on that. The volume up a little bit. All right. Let's see what we got. We're on. Recording. 266. 2 pieces of a hole. Whose sword is that? This is insert name. He is a retainer of the Hosokawa clan. I am retired, but I agreed to do this for Kojuro's sake. This doesn't appear to be a place for visitors. I'm sorry. Not at all. Musashi used to come here too, I see. I see. Musashi and Kojuro. They both exist on the fringe of society, those two. I wanted to see those two, like, go through an arc. Both at their physical peaks. And, like, especially after the feat that we just pulled. Like, I would just love to see them day to day with each other. And if they both get an understanding of, like, what does it mean to be invincible? What does it mean to be strong? While also just, like, running into other people. I wanted to see that kind of dynamic. But look, because even if we get it now, we don't know if Musashi will ever physically be what he was. And I think there was an argument to be made, like, when they ran into each other, at least, like, up to the point of him killing 70 men. I don't know if it was easy to say, but it looked like the story was maybe hinting that that Takezo was stronger. I'm not sure. They both exist on the fringe of society, those two. Are like opposing wings on a bird. Or perhaps, if you consider them a raw, undiscovered blade, then they serve as each other's sheaths. Perhaps that's what they are to each other. It's very odd. As I observe an artist such as yourself using his hands for the sharpening of a sword, I can see that you are a gentle man, but it makes me ask myself, the sword whose purpose it is to cut people down, why does it have to exist at all? There are two kinds of people in this world, those who are made mightier by the sword and those who are weakened by it. I believe everyone has a bit of both in them. A sword doesn't simply exist, it is made by man. It did not just come here from the heavens. Then perhaps these swords, which were created to make one man stronger than the other, have ultimately served to take ourselves farther away from the meaning of true strength. Here we go again. What is it? What does true strength mean? Musashi? Let us split the wood. You are an injured man. Please allow me to do it. I'm feeling restless. I'd rather die than sit around doing nothing. If they take us away from true strength, then perhaps swords were created to realize our weaknesses. After all, it is the heavens that made us in the first place. Indeed, there is no strength that hasn't crossed the path of weakness. Oh, okay, so she didn't just pass out and have a heart attack and die on sight. Looks like they are going to get some time together. Now, does she actually come out of whatever sickness she's in? That's a different question. This herbal medicine is supposed to really work. And here's some eggs. They'll give you strength. Isn't it nice to have your son here? It must have been expensive. How can you afford it? Oh, God. Don't worry about that. I'm doing all right for myself. Here, let me prepare this for you. Doing all right? Who am I kidding? No more lies. Ma, as soon as you're well, we'll go back to Miyamoto Village. What's that? I've had enough of Kyoto. It was impressive at first, but I've had enough. It's no different from the country. There's good and bad everywhere. I want to start over in Miyamoto. I'll become the greatest man in the village. It took you going through all this and losing a lot to realize that, huh? Did she just sit up like she's okay? Madahachi, I'll give up the name I've established for myself. It's too bad. Why can't I stop lying? Stop it already. I was about to say, this might be the last couple of days you get here with your mother. You better be truthful with it. Come on, eat up. Take this medicine. We can't go home unless you get well. Everyone's waiting for you. Swords are made to... These two are having a philosophical discussion here. Swords are made to kill people, but you can't deny the beauty of them. What is this contradiction? Swords are beautiful because they can kill. There's no beauty in a sword that can't kill. And because it's a tool created for killing, the more it does, so the more beautiful it gets. And if one were to truly approach such beauty, a beauty that can give you chills, the wielder would be completely immersed in it. These two, man. This is a long ass chapter. Wow. If such beauty ever existed, it wouldn't be necessarily for it to kill, because strength and beauty become one. That line of thinking is what allows me to lay my hands on a sword. It's morning, let's eat. Alone, sheaths for each other. Alone they may have ended up on the fringe. But as long as they both exist in this world, they may find a place for themselves in it. I don't know how else to say it. I'm happy to hear this. I feel the same way. Alright, we'll get them together then, I guess. Perhaps the Hosokawa clan will take in one more. Let's see if we can get Musashi to... Oh, wow. So you're going to... So instead of trying to, like, reel him back in, you're going to try to get Musashi out there. Okay. I guess that works. Alright, what are we? 267? What do we get? 6, 7, 8, 9, and 70? Alright. So, this is your work? That's right. I have no eye for art, but I believe it's cracked. The heat was too strong. And that's acceptable? Why not? It's interesting. I see, indeed it is. You can't help but notice it. Go ahead and hold it. You can't see it if your soul is too tight, but once you relax and look at it straight away, many faces begin to appear. Once you open up your heart, everything in this world is beautiful. Taquan's like having an outer body experience. Musashi once said, cut people down and die in Mortal Kombat. That's all there is to life, he said. Now, he's realized there's more. He survived. He will go on living. Musashi was very lucky to have met you, Koetsu. Koetsu's been a dope character. I was hoping that we were going to get some good time with like him, his wife, Kojuro, and Takezo all kind of in there for a little bit, but we didn't. I can't thank you enough. I received a letter of inquiry on Musashi from Edo. From who? The second shogun, wherever that is. You mean Hidetada? Hidetada? Hideta? I don't know. That was like the second strongest shogun in the land or what? I'm going to make it big, so am I. Takezo, there won't be a soul around who hasn't heard of me. Same for Matahachi. We'll make a name for ourselves, we will. Well, Takezo sure did. Probably the greatest name a swordsman has ever made for himself. By the way, Matahachi, what's that mean, to make a name for yourself? It looks like I'm at the end of the road. I'm at the dead end. Did you really mean it? I figured you were just going along with me. You and I are different. Even if you were the only person left in the world, I bet you'd keep on swinging away, mumbling to yourself. Man's having cold sweats. Musashi, sir would like to see you. So after so many victories, you reached a point where you could no longer taste it. Yeah. Being invincible is a mirage, so you say. 22 years old, that's it? Maybe it's the way he's drawn. Like, they look, I guess we didn't really think about it in the context of the story. Yeah, they probably aren't much older than that. But man, as I see him here, like, he looks so much older, like mid-30s, 40s. They say the great battles are a thing of the past, but our times are far from peaceful. A battle could come up at any moment. Rulers must be wary. Leaders must be prepared. Invincibility is a mirage. Why not spread this wisdom you've obtained in a mere 22 years to all the people of this country? That seems like a lot. You could do it if you have support of a great leader. Yeah, like, does he want that? Like, it seems like a lot. That's not my thing. When I met with you yesterday, I must admit I felt intimidated. How so? I have followed the way of the sword too, perhaps more than most. Why, you could like feel it dripping off of him. You've reached a state of strength that I will never know. That's exactly like the, what was his name, Ogawa? Or whatever the guy's name is that essentially just traded his entire life's work to serve Kojuro. In his prime. I manage not to show it because I've reached this ripe old age. That feeling, it starts out as only the smallest of waves. Once the heart becomes insecure, it freezes up. Your soul tightens up and closes off everything. The insecurity grows and turns to fear and then hatred. And the opposite is just as bad. You become needy and dependent. Your eyes and soul appear to be open but are truly blind. Does being strong give you the right to do as you please? I don't think so, do you? I'm sorry, this is getting complicated and I don't really understand. I'm sorry, I got so excited once I realized this yesterday. I wanted to tell you about it. I must be rambling. There are always forked paths within one's soul. It's best to take the one at the center. Oh yeah, that's easy. But what if I'm forked? Then where's the center? I guess you just make your own center, huh? That I understand. I'm feeling it again. We'll talk again tomorrow at the same time. That's a nice walking stick. The guard gave it to me. I see. Everyone would like to hear what you have to say, Musashi. Is he just going to be Moses and start going around the lands or what? Preaching the word? What word though? Musashi, if someone should offer you a post, you must serve them and start a family. Oh my god, not you too. Don't you think it's time to choose another path, Musashi? Say with Otsu. You can teach others about what you've learned at the end of your battles. Musashi, you can do this. Can you not? Why me? I don't have anything to say to anyone. I'm not the type to teach. I thought I was being held a prisoner. What did I do to deserve such respect? You became him. Like you're Neo in this world right now. Everyone's been trying to like get to that. But it's so wild, like now you see Neo and Neo can't even walk in a straight line without a help of a stick. What's so wild is like anybody could take him out right now. Like he's this world's Neo, right? He's the one, he's defeated the Matrix, whatever, or he's achieved it, whatever you want it to be. And he's never been more weak than he ever has in his life right now. Well, let's see. I don't think I can really explain it. Do you have any friends? Will the battles ever end? Of course not. You're supposed to be the something of Kyoto. Don't be so soft. I don't know. And I have no children. This morning my 2-year-old grandson was giggling after crushing a spider. He just sat there giggling. Someone you've known since you were a child. The late Yoshiaka Kempo, that man, was a dear friend of mine. We trained together since we were young boys. Of course, I was no match against him. But what's that matter between friends? I held both Sojuro and Denchichuro in my arms when they were infants. Sorry about that. I'm not saying this because I have a grudge against you. I was about to say, now, are you trying to take our ass out or what? That's a different matter. I believe the guilt in the battle at insert is one of the Yoshiaka's side. Yeah, it is. If everyone could be as strong as you, then when people confront each other face to face like this, both sides could remain centered. Yeah, because they know that, like, what could either of us do when we're that strong? She's chanting what a Demon Slayer boy chants. Please let that specter rest in peace. Let him join his ancestors. Oh, she's talking about Ueda. God. Oh, come on. Spectre, I prefer spirit. See, there. Don't you see him, priest? Look, I'm going to be frank. You're going at this the wrong way. Don't talk directly to him. You're going at this the wrong way. Talk directly to him, not me. Sure, we're childhood friends, but that doesn't mean that much to him now. You're just wasting your time with me, but maybe time's not an issue for you. Yeah, I mean, he is wasting. Like, why are you doing this? And why is she even able to see this? And why is this even a real thing? It's like we've... I don't know. It's an interesting part to put into the story of a story that's so grounded and doesn't have anything to do with, like, abilities and power. The only thing we've seen of this is the Inshun stuff. You're the same ghost, right? Your face? Your ear? It's back to normal. Otsu, who are you talking to? You know, Musashi won't live much longer. Whoa! You didn't have to say that. There would be no fight. It would no longer be necessary, don't you think? It's up to you to teach this. You must tell everyone about this strength you found. Ah. Because everyone's been trying to figure out, even he is. But one must fight to get where... Oh, here we go. Or do you think one must fight to get where you are? Can your strength only be obtained through killing? And what does that mean? For our children and their children? Kinda, yeah. You're so gentle today. What happened? So different from before? Don't you care? Do you have a grudge against Takezo, or are you concerned about him? You have a grudge, but it seems like you don't want him to die. Are you finished, sir? Yes, I am, thanks. Who is that man you mentioned? Otagura from the Yoshiaka, was it? Yes, a one-armed swordsman. Whoa. We managed to suppress him without anyone getting hurt. It seems he had only recently lost his arm. Ah, the one that... Yeah. So he was quite unsteady with his sword. I'm amazed he had the gall to come here in his condition, screaming that he would cut you down. Don't you think it's time you choose another path, Musashi? Say with Otsu. To Quan, that's impossible. It's too late. It might be. Together with Otsu, impossible. Yes, this is exactly it right here. So many people are going to want to try to test him. And you could say maybe if he was 100%, that he might be able to go on living and like protect both of them. But she would be a liability. I mean, you would think he would want to try, but there's no way he could keep tabs on her and eyes on her 24/7. Somebody will, if they can't defeat him one-on-one, will use her to get to him. And especially now, he definitely can't do it. That's the last thing I want. It's too late. I have a place to return to. Yes. And it's always been here. That place. That feeling I had just at that time. Musashi, won't you come to our dojo tonight? We cordially invite you. The invincible Miyamoto Musashi, everyone is eager to meet you. I want to go back. I hope they're eager to meet him. It's not just like a setup of like, alright, who wants a chance to take out Miyamoto Musashi? I have a place to return to and it's always been here. That place. That feeling I had. That's where I want to go back to. Body and soul centered, neither loose nor tense. My body a mere speck amongst the infinite things around me, but somehow still connected to it all. What's this feeling? Is this happiness? It's him. He's young, so young. It's my honor to introduce you all. This is, by the way, what is your sword style? Oh God. Does he just come crawling in here? I wouldn't parade myself around like this, I'm gonna be honest with you, but I don't really have one. I am a Ronin from Sakushu, Miyamoto Musashi. Does he even need to go around with that name anymore, to be honest? We use these special training swords. For training purposes, these are better than wooden swords or real blades. Oh, they got the little like bamboo sticks and shit. Makes it more practical. The Yagyu use these too. We met twice. A week to study. Rank and seniority is of no concern to us here. The sword is what bonds us all together. You are very dedicated. We're not worthy of receiving those words from you, sir. My wife disapproves of this. She says the sword won't help my career. How can a samurai's wife say such a thing? Mine is always insisting I quit. Says it's a waste of time. Mine thinks I'm crazy. What's a monk doing with a sword, she says. She has a point. A monk stays out all night and comes back all black and blue. Are you sure this is okay? I'm a prisoner. You're being detained for different reasons. Sir hopes for your continued survival, and we agree. My apologies for being blunt, but he must not die a meaningless death. As much as we, the Yoshiaka, have never wanted to kill anyone more than we do with Miyamoto Musashi, we also never hoped for the continued survival of an enemy as much as we do for him. Why, to go hopefully spread the way to get people to not pick up the sword? But he cut you all down, how could that be? I doubt he'll stay there sitting in the cell forever doing nothing. The moment he comes out of there, word is that he can barely walk now. We have to thank the Yoshiaka for that. Yeah. Let me have the finishing blow. If you should die a meaningless death at the hands of weak men driven by greed and ambition, everywhere, men who wield the sword will say, that's just the way things are. What comes around goes around. He's got what was coming to him. He deserved it. Let's not get involved. And that would be the end of it. For those of us who live by the sword, a meaningless death for you. Yeah, it's like if he goes down. But it's like, is he having to be surrounded and protected though at all times? Does that mean that he's really achieved it if he can't even defend himself anymore? It's like they want to fight to keep him alive and not have a meaningless death, but it's like, is he even really... I don't know. It's kind of hard because it's like he physically can't even do it himself. So is that still something to look for and strive for, or what? Would it be like a complete rejection of the value of the sword? You survive, Musashi. Now you can show that anyone with a sword, all people rather, old, young, man or woman, everybody, you can show us the potential that is out there. This is y'all are asking a lot. Otsu, I want you to guide Musashi. What, why me? What can I do? Guide him to the light. Musashi's done fighting. Done enough fighting, more than enough. Why don't you go tell him yourself? It has to be you. You have always been the light that guides his soul. It's a big ask. The sword has been his center, the place he always returns to. However, you have always been his guiding light. She's crying. Stop lying. Didn't I tell you? After you die, you just know things. It's so wild that this is even happening to her. You're kind men and strong. Thank you for your hospitality. I don't understand. Eh? Oh, did he just knock them out? He did. It was almost within reach. Almost had it. I came so close, but now that's what I'm saying, bro. He was at the peak. He was right there, and he had achieved it. No one else had ever gotten close. And he gets sliced down. I have to move forward before I forget that feeling. I had opponents who were willing to give everything they had within themselves. That's how I was able to come so far. I was not alone. I don't want to chase a mirage anymore. Perfection of technique. There's nothing else I can hope for. Please, God, let me find another opponent out there that requires me to give everything I have. I mean, you know who that is. Please give me one more chance. But the problem is, you can't get their all when you can't even give your all, bro. You're on one bum leg. What do you want to do? That's actually a pretty nice shot there. Hey, reinforcements. We were told to help out. Thanks. We're exhausted. You get a really good look at that leg injury there. We've come a long way. Just a little more. Let's head home. It's time we went back. We've only got a little ways to go. We're about to create a miracle. How could you come this far and want to quit now? The boss says this is far enough. We bear these wounds so as not to forget. That's what he says. But we're so close. It must be okay if that's what he said. Farewell until we meet again. Call us if you need help. Next time we'll help you. Thank you, brothers. Dang, we're really getting to see that injury. Is there anybody out there in the land that could help us or what? I fell asleep again. Traveling on this leg is 3 times as tiring. Thank you. The mountain road to Yagyu is steep. Please take care. Bro. Oh, God. I mean, maybe he'll rehab his way through it. Maybe he'll figure it out. I don't know. I'm feeling much better. What do you want? How could you hear us? Guess a crippled Musashi is still Musashi. What, were they waiting for us to leave? But now with that leg of yours, you're weaker than a regular man. You're not wrong. Ambitious swordsmen will hunt after you to make a name for themselves. Yeah. Yeah. Don't do it. And if the two of you can't take him down, how sad is that? But this is how you made your reputation. Now it's our turn. But we didn't just blindly go pluck off men on mountain passages and shit. Oh, God. Why did you take up... Oh, wow, he's trying to hit him with it. He's trying to talk him down. He's really trying to talk no jutsu. Why did you take up the sword? You're not even a samurai. How'd you know? I can tell. Why wield the sword? What does it mean to you? So you're a man of words now that you can't fight? Pitiful. He tried. He tried. Don't draw your sword. I'm done with this. The spiral of death. Oh, wow. And it says he's done with it. Now I'll stay inside this circle, so leave. I'll stay inside this circle with this leg of mine, so leave. I won't chase you. Or will you choose to do it? Will you enter this circle? Now it's like, okay, can I do it? Yeah, he's on one leg, but that's Miyamoto Musashi. Like, is it? Go back to the village. Is that what you think I want, Matahachi? Weren't you happy that you fool? Oh my god, she's still hung up on this dumbass plot of revenge, bro. Your son's right here in front of you. Take it and leave. We're not doing this. That devil Takezo's still on the prowl. Now people are saying that Beast is invincible. How can they? Woman, look at you. Matahachi, do you have money for travel? Such a long journey. Separated from my son, the thought of getting back at my arch enemy was my only hope. So tired. I'd like to go back to Miyamoto village, but I'm completely out of funds. Jesus. Look what you've done to your mother. And these two idiots are dead as fuck. I told you to leave. Why did you enter the circle? I'm not so gracious. Yeah, he's like, oh, I'm walking so much better. Proceeds to like re-tear open the injury. So we'll see. Some of them want him to be this like new and upcoming messiah to like spread the word. But it's kind of hard to like, I mean, some will be able to sense it, kind of like the old man did, the old, I guess, jailer or whatever you want to call him. But some are going to take the word because like they see how he is physically and it's like, is this it? Like, is this the mountain piece? Is this our Jesus? I don't know. It's going to be tough. I want him to be whole again, be able to move on that leg and pop, 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 pop. Are we going to get it? I mean, there does seem to be progress being made. There's a difference progress between like, okay, he's not crawling anymore, he's like striding like on a crutch or a cane, to being able to just like flow and fight. There's a huge difference. Like maybe he could walk again without assistance and kind of do daily things in life, but to be able to like pivot and fight life and death ever again, I don't know. We'll leave it there and see though. We will leave it there and see. Appreciate it, everybody. Like, share, subscribe, and as always,